Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, this literally would be nothing. I mean, seriously, it would be nothing. And I have to thank each and every one of you guys for making this incredible. We are over 12,000 subscribers, and I can't believe it. This is just unbelievable, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of you guys that are supporting this channel. And this has been a great time because I'm literally back home. I popped out a video earlier today when I first got back home from work, and I took a nap and literally was just knocked the F out. I mean, seriously, I was knocked the F out completely. Didn't know who my name was. It felt so good to be back in my bed. And I got to tell you, I can't wait to go to bed tonight with my beautiful, wonderful woman who supports me in all of my dreams and stuff. So we got a lot to get to tonight. And as always with our Dallas Cowboys, it is truly a drama. Let me get some shout outs to some of the early people that are on here tonight. We got Simmons, YouTube in the Hood. How you doing tonight? Green Dan, Jay Davis, Jake Mansfield, Sandman, Rod Bird, Kristen Riles, Sandman, DJ Mel, Tyrone Seth One or something rather, DJ Mel, Ryan Leaf. Oh man, did you get out of jail now and take care of that drug issues you have, my man? Green Dan, Pistol. Damn, you guys are rolling through your David, Mike C, Dallas Cowboys for life, Boa, wow, John, Jesus, Bill, First Last, Dat Green, DPZEN, who's putting on, Brian Waters, wow. That quick. All you guys are on here. Jackie, of course, I always see Jackie. How are you doing tonight, Jackie? Corey, David, Andy, Jake, Ryan Leaf again, Godspeed, Tobias. Wow. Thank all of you guys because we are now literally over 12,000 subscribers. And to me, that's just unbelievable. And I can't thank you guys enough. So give yourselves a round of applause because for me, this has been great. What's been really cool to me is some of the comments that I've get out there. I got a comment from today from a gentleman. And I'm going to say gentleman with a Redskin fan, which is something I normally don't do. But he said that this is the only sports YouTube channel that he subscribes to. Because he at least agrees with what I say. He at least knows that I'm trying to put stuff out there. So shout out to our first Redskin subscriber that I know of. Now, we all know we've got plenty of Eagle trolls out there. And I'm surprised I haven't seen any of them on here yet, like Holy Ways and Cruising, from the Giants and all that. But it's all good because unlike society in general, this program is about including everybody. I may not like your team. I hate the Redskins. I hate the Eagles. I hate the Giants. But you know what? We're all football fans, and that's something we can agree on. And maybe that's not much, but maybe that's the starting point of how we can all start trying to get along because we've got real problems in this world, and I think a lot of it is just not understanding each other. We're all people, and we all want pretty much the same thing. So maybe, just maybe, football can be something that we can all bring us together with. So like I said, welcome to you fans from other teams. I appreciate you Eagle trolls, you Giants trolls, and now Redskin fans as well. Okay? So with that being said, we're going to leave the politics and stuff out there because that's what this show is about, and I don't want to get into politics or anything like that. But we got to talk about our Dallas Cowboys. Specifically, the elephant in the room, Zeke Elliot. We all know I'm a huge fan of the NFL. I have grown up playing football and watching football. I think about football every single day. At the draft, this is a true story. A person who's actually higher up in the NFL that I know and stuff. She was there working with my wife and things with the draft contest that United Way and the NFL were doing. And I ran into her and stuff like that, and I got talking. I said, I am a football whore. I'll do anything for football. I'm the kind of fan that you guys want. I talk about football. I dream about football. I spend my money on football. I go to events. I go to games. I'm talking about football. I wear your gear. I am the NFL. That's all you guys right here. All off season long. Even though there's no football, you're still here buying into that product. It's a great product. But like anything, it's got its side effects and its downsides. Nothing is perfect out there. And neither are NFL players. They are a cross section of society. Jackie, I don't know if Law will be joining us tonight. That's one of my disappointments from the whole California trip. We were trying to work it out that we could get together because he was going to be in San Diego. Shout out to Law Nation. He had his wedding anniversary and stuff celebration in there, and to really try and get him to come to LA to do something was really asking for a whole lot. So, you know, you got to take care of Mama. You've got to take care of Mama. But we did have some other stuff that was great, like Shango and things we're going to get to later on, as well as all of you great fans. But football players are a cross section of society. It doesn't mean because you're a football player that you're up here. You know, you may see an actor or an actress on TV, but guess what? When they go to the bathroom, their shit stinks too. It's true. They are people as well. And people make mistakes. Shout out to How About Them Cowboys. We'll talk about that at some point there, buddy.
One hell of a job. And only thing else I got to say is,
Thank you very much, How About Them Cowboys, for the super chat there, buddy. So mistakes happen. People get in trouble. We got to understand that that happens in society. It's your job. You've got people that have probably done things that aren't above board. Maybe you yourself have done some things that you regret. I know at 21, 22 years of age, I did some things that I look back now and say, I can't believe I did that crap. What a freaking idiot. But that comes with age and being a little wiser. And one thing, you know, I always look back to is I can't forget that Joe Boo needs a refill. And that's really, really important. But the problem I have with this case, and believe me, if he ended up drinking some coffee to make sure I stay awake here, forgive me, with a little Kahlua in it. If he beat her, he deserves to be punished. There's no place for that. If you can't get along with the person you're with, beating them is not going to be the answer to it. It's just going to exacerbate everything. But this case, from all of the information we hear, I'm sorry, you can't come up with a conclusion. There's so many contradictory statements there. Because what it boils down to is really her word, his word. Who do you believe? Apparently the NFL believes her. But there's a lot of stuff out there that just doesn't seem right. Because I brought up Ian Rappaport in a video earlier had said that Zeke Elliot actually filed a harassment suit against her. And this was the day before the police dropped it. And I'm wondering if this is part of the reason why the police dropped the case. If you are being abused, if you are fed up to the point and sick and tired of this, that you go to the police, you're going to the police, I would assume, to stop the violence, to get away from the situation, to get an exit strategy, and to make this person pay for what they did. Sounds plausible, right? So he files a harassment suit against her because he's saying, you know what? She's saying all kinds of things to me. We're seeing clips of text messages that went out. I can't verify if the text messages are real, fabricated, or what, because it's easy to forge things these days. But if they are real enough, then we got a problem here. We definitely have a problem because it puts doubt on whether or not we have the true story from Tiffany. And here's the thing, that if it's true that we're getting from Zeke Elliott's people, that after he put out the harassment suit, that after 2 a.m. in the morning, Zeke got called 50 plus times by Tiffany. Let me say it again. 2:30 a.m., Tiffany calls him over and 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 over again, 50 plus times. Does that sound like somebody who is trying to get away from him? That's my question. Like I said, I wasn't there. I'm not accusing her. I am putting out there a possible scenario by the facts that are laid out in front of me. I can't verify that these facts are true. I'm going by the statements that are being put out and the information that's there, because I tried to go through, unlike TMZ, where they just throw shit on the wall and make you think that the person is guilty. I tried to at least stop for a second, take a step back, get as much information as I can, and come to a conclusion. DJ Bell. Yeah, Zeke needs me to be his lawyer. Yeah, well, I don't have a law degree. Laugh out loud. But in my mind, I'm sorry. To me, when you call a guy 50 times, if he didn't answer the first 5 at 2:30 in the morning, sorry, I got the dog running around like crazy, then chances are he's not going to talk to you. For you to keep calling over and over and over again, and guys, girls out there, listen. When you call more than twice, you sound stalkerish. Best thing to do is step back, let the dogs be, let cooler heads prevail, because the more you call, the more you piss that person off or make yourself look crazy. Just words to live by. Trust me. I've been in that situation where you're in a relationship that's ending, and you want to say, give me another chance. I'm sorry, honey. I'll never do it again. Just let me talk to you. Boom, you leave a message. Hey, just talk to me, baby. I don't know what's going on. I want to fix this. Call me. Yo, come on. You going to do me like this after all we've been through? You know I love you. I can't believe you're going to treat me like this. What the hell is wrong with you? I'm doing this because I love you and we should be together. Oh, so that's how it is then, huh? You're going to do me like this? You know what? I'm going to get even with you. NFL actually has a commercial out that kind of does that whole thing where things, I'm sorry, I'm not saying Brian. I don't know what Brian's doing. I guess he's being an idiot out there. All I ask people, here's the thing. This channel is not a trash talking channel per se, unless we're talking to Eagle fans. It's not a disrespecter site. This is a place to talk about football, have a good time, and respect each other. If you're going to disrespect people, I would ask you to go elsewhere. There are plenty of other channels that you can go to. So please respect others. Please don't come in here just trying to F this and be a jackass, and respect each other, because that's the problem with our society right now. We don't respect each other. I may not agree with your point of view. I may not agree with your values, but maybe we can have a conversation and say, This is how I feel. This is why I feel. And maybe somewhere in the middle we can meet and actually get along. That's the way things should be done. It shouldn't be, oh, you don't agree with me, F you. So please, respect each other here. So that's where we are with this. If she literally called 50 times after Zeke put out a harassment suit, if Zeke went to the police department and said, hey, look, dude, I just put out a harassment suit. Here she's in calling 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock. She's just calling me. All of a sudden, the police are going to say, you know what? Something don't smell right here. Maybe, just maybe, nothing here to report. Or maybe they figure if we get her on the stand that there's so much contradictory information here, because in court, if you lie about one thing, then your testimony is null and void. And if you've got people signing affidavits saying that she asked me to lie for her, people saying that she was beat up at the club by another woman, you're caught calling this man over and over and over and over again after he puts out a harassment suit. Maybe, just maybe, there's nothing there. Now, on the standpoint of the NFL is a business. Let's be clear about this. The NFL is about making money, and image is everything. I don't blame them for that, because in every career, every company, negative information will kill you. And it's about protecting the shield. And sometimes you have to sacrifice the few for the needs of the many. The NFL got a black eye from Ray Rice. No doubt about it. But like I say, you can go to any company in America and you're going to find some drug addicts. You're going to find some people that might shoplift. You're going to find some people that are going to drunk drive. You're going to find some people that might be a rapist. You're going to find some people that have guns. You're going to find some people that are just freaking idiots. It's just the way it is. There's always going to be a certain percentage of people everywhere you go who are below the law. NFL's no different. They're people too. Like I said, celebrity shit stinks too. So we have to understand that it's not the NFL is saying it's okay that you're a rapist or a murderer or whatever. That kind of stuff happens. So the NFL got that black eye when it came out that Ray Rice knocked the crap out of his wife, or fiance at the time. They got the backlash. It's bad for their image, because then you have people like TMZ that are coming through with the drop of a hat, just throwing shit on the wall, saying that here it is, the NFL players. Because social media is a firestorm. It's that quick. It's easy to put something out there that's negative, but you never hear them say we were wrong. Not with the same velocity, not with the same push. TMZ has gotten so much shit wrong, but they're never held accountable for it. That's why if you go ahead and Google Zeke Elliott, you'll see Zeke Elliott, domestic violence, Zeke Elliott, boat incident, Zeke Elliott, carrying a gun, Zeke Elliott, punching a guy in the face. These are all things that somehow are associated with him, but they're not things that he did or were guilty of. But when you see all that in your mind, you're like, damn, this guy's a bad dude. You see his pictures of these bruises? Now, if he gave her those bruises, then he deserves to burn. But if those bruises were, in fact, from a fight that she had with another woman, but everybody is associating it with him, then it's wrong. It's completely wrong because he's being slandered. So I have in my mind questions. In the same way that the police and the DA say there's too many questions to make a charge. I don't have it right up real quick. VZP, I wish I had that kind of technology. I was ready to go. But listen to the 911 call that she made. And that was the one that originally, when this thing started breaking, I listened to that call and I said, I'm sorry. This is bullshit. I have helped people who have been through domestic violence. And when you call the police about domestic violence, it is a major thing because you're thinking, do I want to put this person that I love in jail? Do I want to mess up the situation that I have? How am I going to make it? It's not a willy-nilly thing that you do when you call 911 about domestic violence. You've gotten rock bottom. You're scared and fearful of your life. But when you hear the 911 call and it's like, hey, I called about domestic violence case, and I was just wondering where we were with that, miss. Are you okay? Do you need to go to the hospital? I might need to go to urgent care or something. Is he there in the house? Yes, he's here. And I'm just kind of like, you've been beaten for a week? And this is how you're acting on the 911 call? In my mind, again, maybe she was beaten. Maybe she had traumatic stress disorder. I don't know. But it just did not seem like it fits. To me, there's too many questions. And unfortunately, maybe we'll never really know what happened unless we find the other woman who beat her up at the club. And to me, that is the key. If Zeke Elliott's people or the police department can find that woman, then case is over. The NFL's got nothing. Because it's not like people haven't been accused of stuff before. It's not like people haven't gone to jail before being accused of something they didn't do. It's not like people weren't lynched because they were accused of something that they didn't do. And sometimes you can look at all the facts that are in front of you and say, that person is guilty. And it's wrong. Shout out to Lucky Whitehead. Because I'll be honest, when I heard the whole Lucky Whitehead case, police arrested him for shoplifting. The police wouldn't have arrested him for shoplifting and he didn't show up. Man, he's guilty. Lo and behold, as crazy as it was, somebody stole his identity. So, is it possible? Yeah. But now, the interesting thing is, after the police said he didn't do it, or police said there's not enough evidence, the DA said there's not enough evidence, and we saw these posted pictures of bruises before. Now that the NFL has said that we believe something may have happened and we're going to suspend him for 6 games. Now everybody has now said he's convicted. You listen to Stephen A. Smith talking about she was beat 3 times. These bruises. Why wasn't his brother arrested? Wait a minute. Hold on. It's not like the police didn't investigate it. It's not like they weren't called in. It's not like they didn't talk to people. They couldn't find enough evidence to make a case. Apparently the NFL is better than that. But here's the out that the NFL has right now that I'm going to tell you about. Because the interesting thing on this situation is this. Roger Goodell didn't sit through the interview with Zeke Elliott. Roger Goodell didn't decide this case. He wasn't part of this. So when the appeal process goes back to New York, to the NFL, when Zeke's lawyers and stuff put their case together and say, hey, there's not enough evidence here. We've got these text messages that you guys just saw but just ignored and just went straight to her testimony like, we believe every word that she says and we believe nothing that he says. That gives them an opportunity to save faith and say, you know what, Zeke? We're going to reduce it to 4 games. This is the best route. We don't want this to be drug out through the court system for another year like we did with Tom Brady. Or maybe you'll say, you know what, Zeke, I'll do one better. Let's just say 3 games. We call it a wash and we move on. Because right now, if Roger Goodell had decided the case, and then it goes back to Roger Goodell's desk, of course he's going to say, how can I change it? But it gives the NFL the win that they were needing to say, after suspending Josh Brown for 1 game, a New York Giant, after they made the domestic violence policy, after having what they did with Ben Roethlisberger going on and reducing that to 4 games. It gives them the opportunity to say, hey, nobody is above the law. We can't prove, but we think there was some domestic violence, so we ended up doing the right thing. Keeps the women's groups off. Keeps them in a better eye. At least that's the way I feel about it. So we'll have to wait and see. This thing may get uglier before it gets better, but we'll have to wait and see what happens on it. So, enough of that. Let's talk about the game and the experience in LA. Shout out to LA. Shout out to Oxnard. Every time I go to Oxnard, it's one of the friendliest places to go. The weather was freaking incredible. About 75 degrees with a nice breeze coming off the ocean. It was actually a nice little break for me after the way my day job has been kicking my ass for the last few months. The Dallas Cowboys, as always, know how to do it upright. If you get a chance to go to training camp, it's practice. Understand, it's not a game. It's not a game. You're talking about practice. And to be honest with you, practice can be a little bit boring because it's practice. And anybody who's played football, you know what I mean. It's practice. However, what's cool is this is going to be the best chance that you have to get close to the players, to see the colors of their eyes, to see them kind of relaxing and practicing, seeing these one-on-one battles where these guys are trying to make the team, and to be up and close and personal. You get a wave from the players and stuff, and, you see them smile, see a good play here or there, and see some of the future talent. What's nice about the thing is, although it's changing in Oxnard, I've been there actually 3 or 4 times. The side that you used to sit on when you come in and park is now getting to be condos that are built over there. So I'm thinking with the Cowboys signing for another couple of years that this is going to be kind of the star 2. They're probably going to end up doing some more things, I bet you, over that ball field that make it a lot better and basically make it more of a destination type of trip for the fans, which I'm not mad about because, you want to go, you want to have a good time, you want to be up close and personal to the players. So they have bleachers on one side, and if you're a True Blue member, you pay your $20, then you get to be on the other side of the field, which is the main practice field, and you're literally 10 feet from the sideline. So you're seeing the players right there up and close and things like that, and you're seeing a lot of action. So it's really kind of cool to go there. Although they've kind of basically got you set up in 3 categories. You have the non-True Blue members, or excuse me, Dallas Cowboys United members. So you're on the bleachers on the far side. If you're a True Blue member, United member, then you get to go to the other side of the field, which is close to the players. Then, of course, there's the VIP section where, you got to be a baller to go over there, which is where you're going to get all of your autographs and things like that, and you get more interaction with the players and stuff. You got tables, chairs, and beverages and all that. So it's nice. It's fun. And if you end up not having your True Blue members, your United membership, you pay $20 right there. You get a water bottle, you get a United towel, you get a pair of sunglasses, and you get a decal. So, it would have cost you $20 for that stuff anyway. And you get a discount on the merchandise. So it's worthwhile to go do that. I'm not saying fly across the country just to go to training camp. But if you're in California or someplace close by and want to see the preseason game and things like that, it's worth the trip. For me, it was great because I went out there to see my daughter, got to see the Cowboys, and I got to meet Shango. And that was cool. And in fact, let me show you guys this little clip here. Hello friends, Cowboy Jobu here with the Jobu Sports Report, and as always bringing you the stories like nobody else can. You never know who might just be strolling past you here in LA. What? Whoa! Could it be? Is it really? The one and famous Shango. What's happening, Shango? How are you doing today, my man?
I'm good, my man, I'm good.
Cowboy Jobu here at the Jobu Sports Report. So Shango,
I have to ask you your thoughts, your opinions about Zeke Elliott being suspended.
I'm really messed up about it because nothing made sense with the NFL. I'm gonna just give you one. I didn't say on my video. I'm gonna say one thing that they said that he did. He brought bad attention to the Cowboys. Nobody knew about it. Now they know. Now they know. Everybody knows. Nobody knew about it until yesterday. Now it's in front of everybody. People are like, what did Zeke do? Now he's labeled the rest of life. Labeled.
So Shane?
Wow, Shango really went off on that, and I got to tell you, Shango was really cool people. It was great to meet the legend. He actually gave us a great shout out, Law Nation, everything else, and I appreciate Shango and things like that. I remember there were some people out there trying to start a beef between me and him. There's no beef, man. We're all Dallas Cowboy fans. We all love the Cowboys, and we're here talking about the Cowboys. So, say what? Thanks the beef. That's right. Thanks the beef. You know, there's a lot of great YouTubers out there and people that are starting and everything else that deserve your support. Some are better than others and things like that. But everybody who comes on here, whether they're good, whether they've got 10 subscribers or 10,000 or 100,000, they all work hard to build a channel, to go out there and do stuff. And for people who come in here and they tell you, oh, you're no good, you suck, this, that, and the other, I challenge you to go ahead and put a channel together. I challenge you to go out there and put your name, your reputation, and your face out there and try and do this. I'll give anybody a chance. I'll do anything I can to try and help somebody else on this. I'm still really new on here, and I'm old, and I'm technology challenged. But I give a shout out to anybody that puts themselves out there and challenges themselves to be more than what they are. It's the punks out there that are saying, you suck, that aren't doing anything that I have a problem with. So shout out to guys like Shango, shout out to guys like Law Nation, shout out to all of these YouTubers out there that are doing the best to entertain you guys. Because I'll be honest with you, it's not easy doing this. It's an investment of time. It's an investment of resources. I've only scratched the surface of equipment and things like that with it, but I know I've dropped actually a good amount of money into doing this. I've got 3 web cameras here. I've got 2 computers. I need to actually upgrade my other computer so we can start doing 4K video. Equipment that I take on the road. It's a lot of work. So don't disrespect people that are doing this. Give them your support. Give them some comments. Give them likes and things like that, because that ends up helping them to grow. And we're here for you guys. So don't forget that when you guys go through and start disrespecting somebody for what they're doing. Okay, now I'm going to get off of my my board there and get back to talking about the show. Now, great things that we had happen. And I see we got another super chat here. Thanks for telling me about Cali. Okay. Oh, Cali Cowboy. Yeah, he came in with Shango. He's another great channel. There's a lot of great channels out there that, people are working hard to get out there. The funny thing for me is I won't say that I'm any better than I was a year ago. I have the same knowledge that I had a year ago. A year ago, I had about 400 subscribers. Today, I got 12,000. What's the difference? I'm still the same person. I'm a year older. I've got maybe better cameras, but I'm still talking the same kind of stuff that I was talking before. The difference is people are now watching that weren't watching before. And that's where we all are. When you're starting out, it's hard to get people to listen to your message until people all of a sudden say, hey, man, you know what? That guy knows what he's talking about. Hey, this guy's really funny. So give these guys your support and help them out, because it's not easy. And downright, some of you people can be ruthless with some of these comments and things. And do me one favor. Don't forget that the people that are behind these cameras are people and have feelings as well. I ended up showing my daughter, who is a YouTuber, when I was out in California. And I had a lot of you guys that went over there. Some of you are some really thirsty motherfuckers. Be respectful, please, of others, especially young women. And don't use my last name when you go to her site. That's all I ask. Okay? Because there are some crazy people that are out there. There are some people that are stalkerish. And if it was your daughter or yourself, you wouldn't want them to be disrespected either. So, with that being said, back to our Dallas Cowboys and some of the things that I liked and didn't like. Taco. It's funny because before the game, I said, Shango, what is it that you're looking for in this game? And he was going through blah, blah, blah. I said, the one thing that I want to happen, I said, Shango, I want Taco to get a sack just to shut up all of the haters out there that are saying that the guy is a bust. He said, okay. And I'm watching the game, and I've got lots of pictures and stuff that I took with my DSLR camera that I just have to go through. And I've got some really good pictures, too, from camp and all that. I just haven't had time to go through them because I literally took about 1,000 different pictures. But when I kept taking pictures of the defense, every single play, Taco was upfield. Taco was getting penetration. He was getting past. And I know people say, well, it was just the Rams' second string offense. Okay, right. Well, whatever. This guy wasn't getting blown backwards. And I have a picture where the defense, I'm literally at the 45-yard line, and I've got the perfect shot because it's right there in front of me. And the ball is in the air going to the quarterback, okay, who's in shotgun. So it's about halfway between the center and the quarterback. You look at this, you see the whole defensive line. One defensive lineman was still in his stance. Taco was actually already past the line of scrimmage. He was the first guy or leading guy on that play. That first step, which I told you guys when we were looking at the draft, he has a fast first step. It's a matter of him learning those moves and stuff and getting it together. Because what I saw before in practice was not the ability was the problem. You could see the hesitation in where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Because you're making adjustments on the fly. You may think it's just line up on the ball and just go ahead. No. You're looking at change just like the offense is looking at where is the Mike linebacker. Okay, this is the center of the play. That means I got to block down. No. Okay, the quarterback just changed it. So now he's saying this is the Mike linebacker. So now I've actually got to block to the left instead of the right. And what's the play snap on? Well, you're on defense. The defense is seeing changes on the offense. They're saying, okay, you got to shift left, okay? Okay, now, are you a shaded defense? Am I playing on the guy's nose? Am I playing on his cheek? Am I playing on the outside helmet? Do I have outside contain? Are we doing an X stunt or Y stunt? You got all this stuff going in your head, and if you're thinking about it that much time, you've lost. And that's what I saw in the first game with him. This game, and in practice, I could see them really working hard with him on the different stunts and things. He kept penetrating and getting upfield. And the thing that really impressed me is he chased down a play from the back side for a loss. Let me say that again. He chased down a play from the back side for a loss. Yeah. The guy's going to be okay. And I'm glad that finally people are saying, oh, Taco, because last week you guys, or some of you guys, were killing him. The media was killing him. Did the Dallas Cowboys waste a pick on this guy? And I'm like, how can you tell you're wasting a pick on a guy that played in the Hall of Fame game? Just relax. Give the man some time. And I'm going to make somebody really happy right now. He's got his headphones on while he's playing PlayStation, but it's one of those things kind of like, you know, when the dogs are laying down there asleep and you happen to go into the cabinet where that treats are, all of a sudden, boom, their ears pop up because they know, uh-oh, I'm getting ready to get a treat. But we're going to be talking about Rico Gathers, Rico Suave. Apparently, see what I tell you, there's the dog for his treat. The Cowboys are now looking at Rico Gathers and moving him not just from the practice squad to the team. They're talking about 2 tight end sets with Rico and Jason Witten. They are beginning to plan because right now, believe it or not, we're past the preseason. We're beginning to start game planning for the season actual games. After this week, the team will come back to Dallas, start working out the start, and we won't see practice anymore. because they will be game planning. But they're realizing that Rico Gathers is smooth. He's fluid. He can get downfield, and the boy can jump out the place and get the ball. And his hands are really good. So when you start looking at all those factors, and you say, hey, that's another pass catcher out there. That's a big body against these small cornerbacks. Because most of your cornerbacks are about 6'1", 6'2". You get a guy who's 6'8" out there who can jump, mismatch. So Rico, 2 weeks in a row, 2 touchdowns, and Michael's getting a Rico Gathers jersey. So you know it's on. So Rico definitely looking good. Taco is definitely looking better. Backup quarterback. Calvin Moore. Well, we'll get to Cooper in a minute. I'm not sure how Kellen Moore is still the backup quarterback, unless it's purely just because he's been there the longest. But got to tell you, he didn't show me much. If Dak Prescott goes down, we're in the Tony Romo situation where 2015, Tony Romo went down, the cupboard was bare. And I wonder if this goes back to coaching, because Dak Prescott, I believe, came to the Cowboys with a lot of his skills already there. You look at Dak Prescott's numbers from college, they're a mirror image of exactly what he did in the NFL. It's not like the Cowboys were able to take him and have him on the bench and coach him really up to become a better player, like somebody that's been on the bench. The question I ask is in all the years that Jason Garrett has been the head coach, our backup quarterbacks have never, ever been very good. And you're talking about a guy who was a quarterback. You would think that you would be able to take basic talent and make them serviceable quarterbacks. But that's never happened with the Cowboys. Yet Tony Romo, by Bill Parcells, was already there when Jason Garrett took over. He already had his skills. But over the years, we've had guys that have been there as the backup quarterbacks, but that have never been able to develop into anything. I mean, you had Brandon Weeden, who had been in your system for 2 years but couldn't win a game. Yet he went to the Texans, and in a week he ended up practicing and coming in, having a come from behind victory, and then he led them to another victory. So we got 2 victories in Texans with a week of practice, but in 2 years of being here with the Cowboys, he couldn't get 1 win? Matt Castle, who had some success elsewhere when he was with New England and with Kansas City for a year, he was a Pro Bowl player. You couldn't coach him to more than 1 win, and I won't give him that win. That game ball should go to Deshaun Jackson for running backwards on a punt return and fumbling the ball on the 5-yard line so we could kick a field goal and win. So our backup quarterback situation has never been very good. We haven't been able to coach guys up. And Calvin Moore, I'm sorry, if we get down to him, cancel Christmas. Now Collins made some plays. Now again, that was against third-string talent and things like that. I'm not sure that he's going to be ready to start a game as well as rush and win for you, but I feel more confident about those guys than Calvin Moore. Now, the interesting thing is, of course, the great thing is the Dallas Cowboys having drama gives all the talking heads. How about them Cowboys? Yeah, how about them Cowboys? He's starting a YouTube channel as well, and he's doing some really good things as well. So shout out to How About Them Cowboys. The interesting thing is, right now, all the talking heads are talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Without Zeke Elliott, is the season over with? What do the Dallas Cowboys need to do without Zeke? Can they survive without Zeke Elliott? Okay. And some of them are saying the Dallas Cowboys need to go ahead and turn Dak Prescott into running quarterback. You need to do the read option because you don't have Zeke Elliott. Really? It's funny because I'm sitting looking around the NFL. Not a lot of teams had a Zeke Elliott on their team. It's funny because I don't hear, with the Redskins not having a great running back, that they're saying that Kirk Cousins needs to do the read option. I don't hear Green Bay saying, we don't have a great running back. Maybe we need to go ahead and have Aaron Rodgers do the read option. I don't hear Philadelphia with, their running game and things saying that Carson Wentz needs to do the read option. So I'm trying to understand why, because we don't have Zeke Elliott, even though we've got Alfred Morris, who's had some good years, how we got Darren McFadden, who 2 years ago when the Cowboys offense was putrid, still rushed for 1,000 yards and wasn't even the full-time starter the whole season. So all of a sudden now you're saying we don't have Zeke Elliott for 6 games, that Dak Prescott has to be a running quarterback? Because this all goes back to the whole thing of people don't believe that Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. They still think that he's just a dink and dunk quarterback, and it was all Zeke Elliott was the reason why the Cowboys were successful. The running game sometimes gets helped by the passing game as well. You need balance. You need to be able to have the defense have to worry about which way is it coming from. That's why it was a perfect offense with the two of them together, because Zeke's running the ball well. Hey, opens up the passing lanes. If you're hitting with the passing, it opens up the running lanes. Or if you've got a lead, you run the ball to run out the clock. It's a great offense. But the NFL has gotten to be a high-scoring passing league. You don't have a lot of teams with great running backs that are having a lot of success. The Cowboys weren't the norm. Does New England have a great running attack? No. But they're not saying that Tom Brady needs to go ahead and run the ball, do they? It's still a disrespect of Dak Prescott's skill, because they don't think that he can do it in the air. For whatever reason, I can't tell you whatever that reason is. But I look at Dez Bryant, who, of course, they say he's not a top 10 receiver anymore, can't stay healthy. Well, it's true, he has been injured some. But you look at the numbers that he had the second half of the season, he averaged more yards per completion last year than any other year in his career. Stop for a second here. Let me say it again. Dez Bryant averaged more yards per completion last year than any other year in his career with Dak Prescott. But yet Dak Prescott's just a big gun quarterback who only benefits from having Zeke Elliott. Okay. Guy doesn't turn over the ball. The guy is wise with the football. He's not going to take any more chances than he has to. He's going to find the open man, because when you've got Jason Witten, you got Dez Bryant, you got Cole Beasley, you got Terrence Williams, you got a running back out the backfield, somebody is going to be open. You can't cover all of those guys. And if the offensive line is giving you time, it's a matter of finding that guy. So people are saying, oh, without Zeke Elliott, you don't have the 65-yard home run hitter. Yeah, but guess what? We want to take our time driving down the field, chewing up the clock and scoring. So I'm okay if our offensive line opens up holes and they don't get touched till 3 or 4 yards down the field and they get 5 or 6 yards in the pack. Didn't know that. Well, Jackie, here's the thing I always try and do. Thank you. I'm glad that you didn't know that. Is there's a lot of information that's out there, but a lot of the information isn't really covered that much. Or sometimes ESPN and things like that, they'll basically go through the day and say, these are our talking points. And you'll see the same talking points on every single show. And you get a narrative that isn't always the whole picture. So when you start going through and you start looking at the numbers, and that's one of the reasons why I do as many videos as I do, because I'm trying to put out their information that's there that these experts should know, but don't cover. But yes, Dez Bryant, his second half of his season, the first half, of course, he was injured, and it was a slow start, and I attribute a lot of that because Dak and him did not work together a lot. So when Dak was beginning to play, Dez is off injured, he's getting a relationship with Cole Beasley and Jason Witten and things like that. So all of a sudden now, Dez comes back cold. He doesn't know what Dak is doing right off the bat. It took time for that to develop. And as you see, as the season went on, Dez's numbers kept going up. His catches kept going up. In Green Bay, it was the best game he had because they're working together. And that's why I say I look for that to continue. And I dare say that I think they're going to be a lethal combination this season when you get Dak and Dez that have been working all off season, all training camp, that they're both healthy and things. These are things that we haven't had for years because Tony Romo has been recovering from, collarbones or broken back and things like that. They didn't have the opportunity to work together. So our passing game is going to take another step up. You now have extra weapons in a guy like Rico Gathers. See, Rico, it's one thing to have a Cole Beasley who goes across the middle. Cole Beasley, you know exactly where it's going to be. It's a timing route. Boom. We're going to hit that every time. It's slant. But Cole Beasley is not a guy that you're going to be able to throw the ball up deep, and he's going to be able to take it away from a cornerback. He's not that kind of a guy. Rico Gathers, a Dez Bryant, those are those kind of guys. You add a weapon like that out there, along with the Terrence Williams, Bryce Butler, who definitely is looking better this year than last year and taking it a step. Cole Beasley, and then you add a Ryan Switzer, another guy in the middle. There's so many different kinds of combinations that you can throw out there that it's going to be difficult for teams to stop. So yes, having Ezekiel Elliott, if we end up having the suspension held up, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be harder without him. But take a look at some of the games towards the end of the season. Zeke kind of came out first game, didn't get 100 yards. In fact, people were saying he looked like Trent Richardson the first game against the Giants. But then the second, third games, all of a sudden those numbers went through the roof. But towards the middle of the season, some of those numbers, he was under 100 yards a game. I believe against Pittsburgh, it was only like 88 yards maybe. And it was the passing game that took over and took that to another level and kept our offense going. So I'm not worried about Dak. I'm not really worried about that offense. And if we can get that defensive line to keep stepping up, I feel good about Taco. He's still going to be a rookie. He's still not going to be able to do what a veteran does. But I'm looking at Demontre Moore, although he's going to be suspended for a couple of games. He played really well. And we've got some other guys in that rotation that I think are going to be okay. I still feel good about this team. And everybody keeps saying the first 6 games, you've got the Cardinals. You've got Denver. You've got the Giants in there. The Cowboys could go 2-4. Well, we're talking about the Cardinals, that Carson Palmer has gotten to be one of those guys that I think has hit the wall. Carson Palmer can't stay healthy. Carson Palmer does not have the arm he used to. They lost a big man in Calais Campbell on that defense. And if you look at what they did last year, Cardinals didn't do much. So all of a sudden, I'm not sure that that's a loss. You talk about the 49ers that are in that first 6 games. Come on now. We're talking about Denver, who they have a great defense, but their offense is nothing special. I mean, it's damn near putrid if you ask me. And the Giants. Yeah, well, the Giants, of course, everybody's talking about Brandon Marshall. They got Brandon Marshall, but you know what? They had Odell Beckham last year. They had Shepard last year. They had Victor Cruz last year. How much more do you think you're going to get just by adding Brandon Marshall? Because in the end, you still don't have a running game. Your offensive line stinks. And you have a turnover machine that is Eli Manning. The first game that we lost to him was Dak Prescott's first game. Zeke Elliott didn't bust a grape in that game. But yet had Dez not had a catch-no-catch in the end zone, or had Cole Beasley not dropped the ball on the 5-yard line, which would have been a short touchdown, or if Terrence Williams had gotten out of bounds and we kicked the field goal, we would have won that game without a Zeke Elliott, with a rookie quarterback in his first start. And when you look at the second game we played against the Giants, we had opportunities because Lord knows Eli Manning threw the ball to our guys in their hands 6 times. But for whatever reason, our guys all had plywood hands, which is one of the reasons why I'm not mad about Brandon Carr and Morris Claiborne and those guys. If you guys can't hold on to the damn ball and cover people, you know what? I can lose with you. I can certainly lose without you. Let me try something new. So Eli Manning's a turnover machine. And I just want to ask one other question, because when I say something, I will go back and tell you if I was right or wrong. I'll review, hey, this is what I said at the beginning of the season. And did it come true? Well, I was right about this, this, and this. It's funny because you don't hear that from the talking heads. You know, these are the same guys that are supposed to be experts out there that can't get a call right from one week to the next. And I find it funny how everybody falls in line because they said, oh, man, this guy said they were going to do this. The Cowboys are going to do that. Really? Aren't you the same guys that said that Dak Prescott isn't a backup quarterback in the NFL? That he has a whole lot of work to do? The same guy you said is going to hit the wall because he was a rookie? So now you're saying he's going to have the sophomore slump? Okay. Thank you, Jackie. I'm glad you love something about me because it can't be this old, ugly-ass face. Could get a pass on Eric Flowers with those busted-up knees. Yeah, he's always talking about right. I think, Ross Pusman, I agree. I think we have an opportunity to go 4-2 starting out. And here's the thing I believe, too. When Zeke goes out and comes back, he's going to come back with a vengeance. In the same way that New England circled the wagons after Tom Brady, they went out there and they played their ass off. 3-1. I feel like the Cowboys are going to do it. But for whatever reason, the talking heads say, oh, that's not the Dallas Cowboys. This will be the thing that breaks the Dallas Cowboys and divides the locker room. What? Why is it Tom Brady getting suspended for cheating will galvanize that team, but Zeke Elliott getting suspended will be the thing that breaks us apart? Sometimes I feel like some of these guys are literally just talking out their ass. Because what I'm hearing from the team is supporting the guy. The team is behind them. And I think the team is going to come together and say, you know what? Let's do this thing. Let's shut these guys up. Let's go ahead and say we know that we're not going to get a break from the NFL, but we're going to go ahead and win the whole fucking thing. Did Mark curse? Yes, I did curse cruising. Yes, I probably did. I appreciate it, Cowboys Abroad. It's almost 10 o'clock. I can't believe how fast this hour always goes through. I'm sorry, it's hard to keep up with all the comments, and if I missed them, I apologize. I know How About Them Cowboys did a whole bunch of super chats, and I appreciate that. Appreciate all your guys' comments and everything else. But one of the things, and I don't know if I copied it, I meant to. One of the comments I got, and believe me, guys, I read as many comments as I can, but there's so many a day that it's difficult to keep up with them all. So don't think that I don't read them, and I try and comment on as many as possible. But because there's so many of you guys here, it gets to be hard to keep up, and I appreciate that. But I got this from Kelp. Okay, and forgive me because I screw up names all the time. From Kesper Nelson. Wise words, man. Don't normally appreciate sports and politics being mixed, but what you're saying just really hits the point, and especially these days, it's so important that things are talked about. You create great comment, your message is spot on, and after a 12-hour shift on an oil rig, It's always brilliant to chill out with a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll. We'll be spreading the mojo in Scotland on your behalf. How about them boys? That's one of the reasons why I may be tired some days, had a rough day, and just don't feel like it. But I want to make sure that I go out there and I do the best I can, because people like this that are watching, it reminds me of being a single dad. Me and my first wife, we broke up. My son was 5 years old. My daughter was 3. And I had custody of the kids. I had a flesh-eating bacteria in my knee, had 3 knee operations, and literally had to learn how to walk. And while I was learning how to walk, I had lost my job. And then my wife decided that she was going to go. So here it was. I'm learning how to walk again. I've got a 5-year-old son, a 3-year-old daughter. I've lost my job. And it was hard. But the thing that got me through and kept me working hard was the fact that I couldn't fail because of my kids. I've got to muster up the energy to make sure that they make it. And that's what you guys give me as a feeling too, because when I hear some of the comments like this, that a guy's been working on an oil rig for 12 hours and he comes back home and chills and gets some enjoyment out of this, that means that I've got to do this not for just myself, not for Joe Boo or anything else. I got to do it for you guys. It was Streptococcus A. I had back in 1994, and when I had it, there were 12 cases in Virginia, and 8 of them are dead now. And I've got a really bad scar and stuff on my knee and stuff. But that's one of the reasons why I work hard to try and make this the best show possible. That's why I'm always trying to constantly improve it. And when I was out there in LA, having people come up to me and say, "Man, you're Cowboy Joe Boo." There was a gentleman on the subway train that was in a wheelchair. And he was like, "Dude, I thought I would never in my life meet you." It's a great feeling, and it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. So hats off to you guys for making me a better person. And I appreciate all the support. And I hope that one day that we can really do this thing right. My dream, of course, is still that Joe Boo Mobile Man Cave, because I want to tailgate with like 100 or 200 of you guys before a game and just have a great time. So, as always, friends, it's 10 o'clock. I need to go spend some time with my wonderful wife, and I want to thank you guys for being the Joe Boo Sports Report. Hope you guys have a great night, and hopefully we'll have some good news on our Dallas Cowboys, and I will see you here soon.